What up, guys? It's another week. It's another bang idea. It has making it blowing in the markets, guys. I've been away for some time because I took a sabbatical of the markets. I just wanted to refresh and come back with fresh mind. And I'm back. And like I do it, I come here, share with you my ideas on where the market is going. You find it interesting, you find it good, you find it nice. You take advantage of the ideas, and then we put cash out together. And so stick around with this one. I already have a trade idea which is playing out, and then you can hop on it. And so I'm going to share the idea with you, share with you why I think it's going to go why, and I'm going to show you evidence that I'm already in that trade because I've already journaled everything, and then we are in it right now, guys. I'm telling you, this week is going to be massive. Lots of flips in the markets, lots of big moves in the market. Crazy things are about to happen, bro. And so do not move away. And then without further ado, let me just get into it, guys. You don't know how much I'm excited to share this with you. And so starting with USDC, USD, SEK, Swedish krona on the monthly chart, guys. Look at this, beautiful. Look at this, just look at this. It's just so textbook. Look, we've seen a strong selling pressure here. I saw this bullish fair value gap at a time, and I was expecting, okay, if you're going to go up, then price should slow down here and then make it slow turn about, and then quickly we go and sweep this, pool of liquidity right here. But what did price do? One, took that out. So the moment I saw that, I knew, okay, we're going where? Down to this next support and resistance level. Okay, and then look at what we also did here. We broke through that with a strong candle, and so the idea is that we'll be retracing to retest this, and then we'll drop lower. Okay, but then the thing is, how do we know if the retracement is going to be strong? How do we know it's going to be a complete reversal at this point? So we'd have to go into the lower time frames to do that. So now let's go into the weekly to identify if we can tell whether this is going to continue or absolutely reverse. Now on the weekly, what we see is that we see a strong break here. Right, we just whipped into that, and then we broke down here, but we do not see any PDRA which is going to confirm to us that okay, this is going down. So let us move a time frame lower, which is a daily, for us to be able to do that. Now on the daily, this is what we have. We have this bearish order block, this bearish FVG, and this bearish volume imbalance. And so we know that from here we are going to see some resistance in here to push price to the downside, and so we are not going to have this huge massive retracement because this is serving as the resistance right from that monthly resistance level. Now let's go into the 4-hour and the 1-hour to solidify this idea. Okay, so now on the 4-hour chart, this is what is available to us. Okay, so this is this is the fair value, the bearish fair value gap on the daily chart, right? Then right above it, you see that we have swept liquidity here. This relatively equal highs right here. We've swept liquidity just right there. Okay, when you look to the left of it, you see that there is this fair value, tiny fair value gap, which I've already marked out. Tiny fair value gap here. We have this order block right here. There you see, there's this order block here, and then a tiny fair value gap where this is coming from. So this makes this high probability. Okay, high probability. We've already tapped into that, swept liquidity above here. And so I say, if you know RU sharp 10, you know we've already had a change in state of delivery. You do not have to wait until this low is taken. You don't have to wait until this low is taken to say to confirm or let's change the state of delivery. Look at this, right? Going into that, all we will be looking for is a fair value gap into the PDRA, into that, and then we have this tiny fair value gap here, very tiny. We come down disrespected with this fair value gap, right, which is a breakaway gap, create another one. We tapped into this fair value gap, and then we're already going down. And so even if price should decide to come all the way here to retest this fair value gap, this is still a valid sell trade, and then we can take it to the downside. Okay, to the downside. Okay, so this is the first one, which is USD Swedish krona, and then we are expecting that price will spool all the way. Good, I can't even see it. That's crazy. I can't even see it on the 4-hour chart. Let me go on to the weekly. So it's going to spool all the way to this place, okay, or at least the places I marked on the monthly time frame here, okay, here, to fill this partially filled imbalance. Okay, and so let us move on to the next pair, which is USD CAD. Great. USD CAD. I have an interesting idea on USD CAD which I can't wait to share with you guys, but let me take these things off so that it makes, you know, the whole thing neat. So previously with USD CAD, I saw this opportunity on the 3-month chart. I saw this fair value gap, and so I was super bullish on USD CAD. I wanted USD CAD to turn around at this place and move on, because it's also at a resistance level. If you see that high over there, let me just mark that out so you see. Good. You see, maps onto that, and that was very, you know, high probability to me. But you see what price did? Just wham, broke through it. No respect at all. No respect. Going to the monthly time frame, and then I see why we have this fair value gap here. This fair value gap down here. Okay, this fair value gap. And so with this, no rush. I just mark my swing high like I've already done here. Mark the fair value gap and then wait to see what is going to happen. What's going to happen inside of this. But then to be able to know better, we just go into the lower time frames and then see. So right here on the weekly chart, this is what I see. Good. This is the monthly fair value gap, right? Then we have this weekly fair value gap just beneath, partially embedded inside the monthly. We have this order block right here as well, right? Just this order block right here. And I also see that there's a fair value gap here. Wait, I got you. There's a weekly fair value gap. Right here. Good. And so, since I'm bullish, the idea is that I want to see liquidity sweep inside of here, and then we do what? We move up. So the idea is this. The first idea is this. We generate a pool of liquidity right here. Let me illustrate that. We generate a pool of liquidity right here, just close to this, and then we sweep them running into that weekly fair value gap and order block. We break through, right, something like this, and then we have higher prices there. That is the idea. So we create a pool of liquidity here, sweep the pool of liquidity into this fair value gap and order block, run up, create a fair value gap, a breaker, anything here, then we retrace, and then we move up, targeting higher prices. Or the second scenario is this: we move up into this candle, creating the into this weekly fair value gap, creating the pool of liquidity. We run into the fair value gap and order block, then we run up like that. Okay, so the only thing is wait and see what happens first on the weekly time frame. But nevertheless, I'm still bullish, and I'm waiting for which scenario is going to play out. Okay, so that's basically the whole thing on USD CAD. Just wait and see. So wait and see what happens in the weekly. So you see here the fair value gap, the weekly fair value gap, we see that it maps onto another fair value gap here, right? And a level of reference which price could come. Then you see that price isn't really moving away, so it's creating that pool of liquidity. So all we have to do is wait. All we have to do is wait for price to do its work on the weekly time frame. Yeah, so when price taps is moving in, the only thing we have to do is monitor this on the lower time frames, the daily and the 4-hour. Then when the entry signal prints itself, when there's a liquidity sweep, we have that break of structure or the sharp turn, then we can just enter and then we move on. So with USD cut down, let us move to the next pair, which is USD CHF. Guys, look at this, beautiful. Look at this, but let's just start from the monthly time frame and then let's see what has been transpiring on this market. Okay, that has been transpiring on this market, and then you see it's just textbook support and resistance, just support and resistance. So if you got selling pressure here, it traced that place, drove down, buying pressure here, got in here, we have some level of resistance here as well, drove price through this support level. And so the idea is that what we want to see this retracement and then we go down to the next level of resistance. Now I saw this monthly, what do you call it, inverse fair value gap, which I was expecting to see, you know, some form of bullishness in there to see if there could be some form of reversal to the upside. But see what price did. Wow, full disrespect, bro, full disrespect. And then that has been refined. That monthly inverse fair value gap was refined here, right? So we broke through it strongly, breaking through this level of support, leaving this fair value gap in here. And so the only thing we've got to do is go down to the lower time frames to see how deep the retracement is going to be, or if it's going to be a complete reversal. But with this fair value gap here, I bet we are not going to go all the way, but all the way up, just going to disrespect it and then go all the way up, right? I expect us to run down to this place, take this low, run down, and then before we see any form of what bullishness. Now let's go into the daily. Now when we come into the daily, this is what is available to us. Okay, look at that. Inside that weekly fair value gap, we have this daily fair value gap, which is resisting price at the moment. Look at that. We have this daily fair value gap right here. So what do? We created this high, ran into this fair value gap, went up, swept the high of that gap. So there's been a liquidity sweep inside of that. Wait. Okay. It didn't take it. Okay, it didn't take it. It looks like relatively equal highs. But then the idea remains the same. Let us go into the lower time frames to see what we can do with what we have. Okay. Now just above this, we see this fair value gap and then this one as well. So price could potentially run up, sweep the liquidity here, right? Sweep the liquidity here, relatively equal highs. So this, okay, so price could sweep the liquidity inside of that, and then we see the drop. The idea is that we are bearish. We are currently inside a bearish fair value gap, so let us see what happens right here. Okay, but the idea is that we are bearish and then we are going to this place. Okay, we are going to this place. So let us see what happens with USD CHF. We are going down. All we need is the entry. This could already be a valid entry, right? This is already a valid entry. So here, targeting this 1:3, could target 1:2. One is to two. when I moved it down, it's boost. The whole thing is what? 1:8R potential, 1:8R trade. And then your 1:2 is just around here, right? But you could go wherever you want, however you want. Okay, but the idea is that we are bearish, and then to be safe on this trade, the only thing I would wait for is for this fair value gap to reject and print another fair value gap, and then there's a lot of fips in here, so there's nothing in waiting for this one. Okay, now I told you guys I have this thing, this trade idea I was going to share with you, and it's already playing out. I made the first video, but there was too much noise in it, so I decided to make a new one. So it's already playing out. I apologize, but I still have to share because there's a lot of potential in there. There's a lot of potential in there. So now NZD/USD, that is where the trade is, guys. And as you can see, it's already moving, right? I've already moved my stop to break even, and I'm done, no problem. Okay, but to begin, we are going to start from the monthly, as always. Okay, as always. So when you come here onto the monthly, this is what you're going to see. This level of support. Okay, I just want to put my level of support and resistance on, so just quickly, and then I move on. Okay, so you see we've got these levels of support and resistance right here. Then you see they work fine. Support, resistance, find some support, we go up, support, we go up, we break through, find support here, we come up, find resistance there, drop to this place again, find support. So we bounce between those two, so it's a range bound. It's range bound right here. And so the ideal thing is that once we've tapped into this, we're expecting price to go where to the next level. But let's add more meaning to this, right? Let's add more meaning to this and give it solidity why it's going to go to the upside, right? So on the weekly, let's go to the weekly time frame, and then let us see what sense we can make out of this trade. Okay, so on the weekly, this is what we have here. See that right here, we've swept the low of the candles here. We've swept the low, which gives us what? Our liquidity sweep. Let me just take this away because we already marked that. Our liquidity sweep moved above this candle, right? Broke above it, which is a change in state of delivery. We have this other block here, the fair value gap. We've already tapped into it with this, with last week's candle, this bearish candle. And so the thing is that we are moving where to the upside, at least where to this fair value gap and this order block, right? To this fair value gap and that order block. That is where my target is. So it's just simple. And the reason why this trade has got even more validity is because of GU and EU. GU and EU move just like NZD, USD, and then AUD, USD move. And so you could also see this, the equivalent of this move on AUD, USD. And the thing is that when you check the EU and GU charts, they've already completed these moves. Cleared these highs. And so these guys have delayed, and so the move you're catching on these ones are very, very solid. And so we have a weekly PDRA. What we'll be looking for is the 4-hour entry. So we've already tapped into that weekly fair value gap. Now what do we have here? We have a liquidity sweep inside here. We've broken structure to the upside, right? We have the fair value gap, so this is where the entry was, the fair value gap, then the SL here. So at the moment, because it's a very small account, I've already trailed my stop loss to this place, and then I'm leaving this trade alone to do what it will do. Move all the way to the upside. Move the way to the upside, guys. So this is it. This is what's already moving. There's a lot of potential in this one. If you analyze it for yourself, you see your entry in there, guys. Don't joke with this one. This is huge. This is massive. Huge pips in the markets, bro. Huge moves in the market, right? And to conclude it, I will just, go brush through GU and EU, see where, tell you where the markets are going, and then we just end with that. Now on GU and EU, we are going to start on the monthly, like always. And then I already told you guys from previous videos, I said GU was going to blow through this high, was going to get him blow through this high. Why? Because the parent range is from this place to this place. That is what I said. I said from candle close to candle close, that's where I drew the range. Let me do it in case you missed it. This is it, candle close to candle close. Then this is where we were exactly here, sweeping liquidity below this, tapping into this order block, and I was seeing we are moving up. Why? Because see, we were in discount, right? We were in discount. We had this order block here, so this becomes our proportion block. We've already tapped into the proportion block, swept liquidity below the proportion block, inside discount, right, close to the 25 DRT level. And so the only thing was we were going up, and then we are even going further higher to this place, and we might even clear this, but let's not be ambitious. But no, we are still going up, but then we'll be getting the high of the range. Okay, why are we getting the high of the range? Let's just move into the weekly. Then from previous video, I also said I wanted to see price drop into this guy and then move. This was the fair value gap I marked, right? This was the fair value gap I marked. Now we have disrespected that fair value gap. Okay, we have disrespected that fair value gap. Let me clone this quickly. Yeah, exactly. We have disrespected that fair value gap, left the fair value gap on its side. So what do you think is going to happen? Retracement all the way here? No, we will be continuing to the higher side of the parent dealing range. To the parent dealing range, we are moving to the parent dealing range. To be safe, I just put my TP here. This will be my expectation. I don't need to catch everything, right? So here, and then we move all the way to this place on GU. Now let us move to EU, and then we end this video. EU, and then we end this video. So now on EU, monthly time frame as well, and then you see textbook support and resistance ideas here, right? Textbook support and resistance ideas here, right? So what? Support up, resistance, support. Broke all the way down here, found support, range bound here, run into this fair value gap. This is why I said we were going up, we were taking this high. Why? Because on the monthly as well, this is the parent dealing range, and then we're moving higher. So going to the weekly, you've already printed this fair value gap here, and here on EU, you've completely disrespected this fair value gap, blown through it, leaving a fair value gap right here. So the only thing we are waiting for is a tap into this fair value gap. Then you see that there's also a resistance level right there. A tap into this fair value gap, so we know that price is going to hold firm inside this region. Then after that, we move where? All the way to this side, guys. Like I said, there are massive moves in the market, bro. Massive moves coming. So take advantage of this, bros. Take advantage, cash out, make some money, get your entries correct, your stop losses correct, leave the trade, let it be, and then you're going to make some money. Leave the trade, let it be, and you're going to make some money, bro. I just rhymed. Come on, let's go kill it, bro. It's your boy OJT. I'm out. Let's catch up another time. Killing it.